So one of my favorite yokai in all of Yokai Watch is Swelterrier slash Chilhuahua. I go back and forth on which one I like more. I like blue better, but I use Swelterrier a lot in Yokai Watch 1 just because he was really rare. And so, I really want to be able to use him in something like Blasters. Now, Blasters, actually he was pretty good because of his skill. His skill is the same as Jibanyan, where he gets attack up when attacking, lasts while attacking, the whole 5 seconds with between attacks. Except because he was a spirit attacker, his triple attack, sucked because it was trying to use his physical attack, which he had just less of than Shogunyan, so there was no reason to use him over Shogunyan. However, you'll notice he doesn't have triple attack anymore, and he instead has Fiery Dance. Now, if we switch over to Google, because we have the Blasters spreadsheet, you'll see Fiery Dance right here. You go to the move list tab, Fiery Dance, and then this scaling tab. This tells you whether it's a physical attack or a special attack. And as you can see, Fiery Dance is a special attack. So even though it looks and acts exactly like triple attack, it is actually a special attack, meaning that we can actually run a spirit buffing move to buff it up and give him an actually coherent kit, because then he also has Overheat as a good special attack. Which, I mean, you can run Blaze and Incinerate, but I just prefer Overheat because big burst of damage is cool. Then he's got Dodge, and then his ultimate move also uses his special attack. So he actually is a very, very powerful combo character. Not quite as good of a combo character as Shogunyan, but because spirit attackers usually can just have more, like, sufficient buffs, like we have Princess Pearl, Hinozal Awoken, regular Hinozal, they're buffing up our spirit stat a ton. Especially when Princess Pearl gives the heal with this Frosttail Soul as well. And then I just have, like, crit Whisper Souls for these two because, like, they're not player controlled and they're not going to be doing anything else other than that. So we might as well make them be tanky and help me out. So why don't we go ahead and test it? And also with the plasma launcher here, we're literally just a spirit version of Shogunyan. So yeah, let's test it out, shall we? Which, I mean, he isn't the best, but considering the honestly ridiculous damage we're going to be able to do because of just spirit attackers usually being treated a little bit better than physical attackers with when it comes to, like, external buffs, then yeah, I think we'll be fine. So as you can see, we're just getting some pretty nice damage off. We can just keep this up and have to wait. So once we keep this combo up, get it going, hopefully not die. Get that to keep up the combo. So as you can see, he's pretty effective, even though we start out with pretty low levels of damage. The amount of the, like, speed he's able to get it, like, there you go, 1100. I'm gonna wait for him to come back down, so that way we can get some pretty nice combo, and then get his ultimate off. And as you can see, we just did a giant chunk of his HP right there, very easily. Now he's gonna try to Dark Top, so we just gotta be aware of that. Just like that. Gotta be goated. And with just a little more push, except he runs away. And that's all of them. So now, we can just wait for him to come back down. And there we go, that's the fight. Well, hang on, I can check what that was. Just a couple minutes, like 2 minutes. And this is just one Swelterrier. If you run 4 Swelterriers, oh my lord. All of them dropping defense, all of them. I was dropping attack too. I didn't mention that. I also have the red paw Swirly SMI. So I was dropping defense, attack, and making myself stronger, all while doing pretty decent damage. It's not like the best because we've seen, like, Emperor Usapion, the Hinozals get bigger numbers, But Swelterrier's DPS isn't bad at all. Like, it's quite impressive, honestly. And he is one of just a few characters who have physical attacks that actually use the special stat, which is pretty neat. So we'll go here. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of these characters. So a good example of another character that does this, of course, would be Chilhuahua. If I can ever find my Chilhuahua, here he is. So Chilhuahua is just an ice version of Swelterrier. He's got Icy Poke and Freezing Thrust, which is, pretty cool. We'll go ahead and switch to him for a second because he actually has another unique move. My dog just had like a nightmare, like freaked out. So he's got Dodge, then Freezing Thrust, which is a special version of Dash Attack, and then Chilling Retreat, which is a special ice version of Fall Back Attack. So he has Fall Back Attack and Dodge at the same time. But we're not going to talk about him real quick. We're going to switch back to Swelterrier for a second, because this is another thing that the Blasters mod does, which is very fun. So if we go down here, all the way to the basement, enter the secret cabinet, secret closet, whatever, and go to change costumes. I mean, as you know, all of these characters have like unique new costumes, which is super cool. But we have this one, the Scorching costume for Swelterrier, and as you can see, the only thing that changes about him is his skill. We can go ahead and switch back to the Google, and as you can see, Scorching Swelterrier is literally the same stats, same moveset. Only thing that changes is his skill. Now, instead of having attack up when attacking, last while attacking, he has increased damage of fire element attacks by 25%. Meaning that while he is no longer a combo character, he now works well against fights that he just can't really combo as effectively. So we'll go ahead and go to his equipment. I think I have... Yeah, I do have it, but I need to go find out who has it real quick. Ah, I found out who has it. It's the other character that we'll be talking about in a second. I need to get this from him as well. So basically, we can put on a fire damage soul, and then put on the fire damage triple fever wand, and now he's getting an additional 25% from his passive, an additional 25% from his equipment, and an additional 20% from his soul, leading to an additional 70, an additional 70% to his damage from this. I don't know if increasing this stacks and is like separate from attack stats, but even still, we'd get like 15%, so that'd be like 85%, plus this would be 100%. So even if it did like stack and was all just one multiplier, we'd still have the cap of 100% extra attack. I think it's 100%. So now we can go into a fight that moves around a lot more, such as Zazzle's not really fun. We'll do Shogun King later. But, I mean, I'm not sure. Might as well do Zazzle. Why not? Claws is kind of a pain. Oh no, it's doing the glitch again. But as you can see, even though we have reduced damage against this, we're dealing a pretty sizable damage. Oh, I don't have overheat. Whatever. Ah. How'd my healer die? Nice. There. Try to heal Princess Pearl. There. So as you can see, I don't have to worry about having to keep up combo, and I can just deal nice damage. If I had to overheat, it would be a little bit better, but, it's whatever. 716 is still pretty nice. So we can just keep this up. I lose strength, but because I literally don't have any sort of physical attacks, it doesn't matter. I can now charge up my special attack. And Get a nice chunk of damage right there. Yeah, pretty nice special damage right there, if I say so. Oh yeah, now it's gonna go up even higher. Ah, oh, he moved. Whatever. I really like this costume as well. 335, nice, nice. Remember, we deal less damage, like numbers to this phase because he's got like a defense stat or damage reduction or something, but he just has low HP. But I really like the Swelterrier costume. Just a shame that he's like theoretically a little bit worse. No projectiles either. Weird. Nice. Nice stuns. So yeah, even though we have to stay far away for now, we can still do some pretty serviceable damage with this ranged attack. 1700, nice. With no... Oh god. No crit damage buffing. You could run like a Tanbo Soul, and then that one thing that buffs up critical damage, and then with 2 Whisper Souls, you could have like 40% chance to crit, and then the 85% critical damage. No, it's 75%. But I feel like this is... It's more consistent. Theoretically, you get higher damage with the other setup, but I mean, I don't know how realistic it is. But yeah, also, anytime, if you ever... I don't know what sort of boss is weak to fire. I don't think there even is one. But if there... Or maybe some sort of enemy that, you know, is weak to fire, we're going to be able to take advantage of it because we have fire attacks. Oh god. He took away my getaway plush too, what the heck? We can heal. So we'll just go ahead and get this. And there we go. So now we can just kind of keep this up, you know, do what it do. And, you know, I mean, you know, we're basically just playing a physical attacker right now, which is cool. But we also have the ranged attack to keep up combo if we were playing normal Swelterrier. So yeah, I think it's really fun that we can take advantage of like a new play style. We're basically playing Shogunyan, but slightly different, and I think it's fun. I think it's fun to not have every character be the same, you know, physical DPS, get up close and do attacks, or stay far away and press a button or charge a button or something like that. Having a mix is very cool. But if you want to have just like pure firepower, then I wouldn't really recommend Blazing Swelterrier because, you know, normal Swelterrier is kind of just better. So we're going to take off this equipment. But one of the legendary yokai who is kind of just mid in the base game is Komashura. And well, this mod gives him his chance to shine. Now, there's going to be an update coming where he has a new costume, and that new costume gives him a new skill. Instead of increasing damage from fire elemental attacks by 25%, it is the Swirlius Omai Red Paw Soul. Enemy attack down when attacking lasts while attacking. There's no character with a skill like that, so Komashura will 100% earn his legendary status, and I'm very excited for it. I kind of wish that we just had like a mini drop of like just all the costumes they've been teasing in the Discord server. Like if there's like nothing else and it's just the costumes, I'd be so fine with it because those costumes look so cool. So yeah, Komashura has Incinerate, offensive stance, which I wouldn't really recommend, but then Overheat and Dodge as well. And as you can see, his spirit stats just higher. So Komashura, honestly, he's pretty fun to play. So Captain Thunder usually is kind of a pain for physical attackers and special attackers. But what about a mix of both? Well, that allows Komashura to take advantage of not having to be a combo character and also being able to deal pretty insane damage. Like that, 1500. So we can just come up here, be dealing like 600 damage per second, or every 2 seconds. Oh, he ran away. I almost ran into that because my dog was like messing around on my bed. I was like, what are you doing, bro? And I look back and I almost get shot. Ah, no. And I still got the spirit debuff. That's the only bad thing about overheat. You have to be careful that he doesn't do his Thunder Shock Surprise. That's a Dragon Ball move. That's not what it's called. Sparking Shock, yeah. Thunder Shock Surprise, yeah. So now that we have the Spirit buff, we deal 3,000 damage on a crit. Yeah, that's pretty legendary in my opinion. And this is Lunar Captain Thunder, by the way. This is harder than Ultra. Yeah, I hear you talking, game. So with all this additional build-up and extra buffs from our allies, I don't really need to worry about having to be a combo character. Especially because this fight's just not really good for combo characters, because you usually have to stop attacking at some point, and longer than 5 seconds is a pretty common thing. But hey, it works pretty well for Komashura, who doesn't have to do physical, you know, combo character stuff. I can just do this. Oh god. I pressed dodge, I want you to know, please. Almost 3,000 damage again. So if we can just keep getting the heal buffs from Princess Pearl, that'd be fire. Fire, because Komashura. Oh wow, that hurt. Big power. Oh. There we go. Nice. I got hit twice, but that's because I got greedy. So yeah, Komashura, he's pretty fun to play. This team is kind of what I use when I just like play casually and just like grind for materials. Like I'll either use this or Sticks Mark 6 because I just really enjoy the trifecta of Hino Awoken and Princess Pearl. And it allows me to use any of these like any of these like special characters that are also physical DPSs. I really enjoy playing. Like they're just the most fun playstyle to me. Because like normal Shogunyan, you kind of have to be focused like, okay, if I miss my combo, then all of my stats are kind of just drop. But with Komashura, I don't have to worry about that. I'm just like, oh hey, I got a 50% damage added to all of my moves because all my moves are fire. So now we can go into another character. Instead of Swelterrier, we have Chilhuahua. Chilhuahua, with his chilling retreat and, you know, all that, is pretty cool. I keep making puns, I'm sorry. So we're going to go down, and we're going to go to the costumes, because he also has a costume. It's actually in the game, too, for now. So here, we have normal Chilhuahua and freezing Chilhuahua. The only difference is that we'll switch back over to Google. Freezing Chilhuahua instead of Blizzard has freeze, and I think freeze is like it's like overheat, but instead of, you know, the 300 base power that reduces your spirit, it's a like 120 base power or something that reduces enemy speed. So I do think it's a little bit better because I don't like charging, but honestly, if you're going to be using dodge, chilling, retreat, doesn't matter which one you pick. So that's pretty cool. I like being able to have a costume that doesn't ruin my kit. But yeah, you can also earn freezing thrust, so he can have, you know, we might as well do that. Freezing thrust and chilling retreat, because now he can be double a combo character. even though Chilhuahua isn't as high of a priority to be a combo character. I also have this, which is a pretty good equip. It gives HP as well as Spirit, and is also a damage additive, so I'm going to take away from my Blizzaria, who is also an ice character. And it's this one, yeah. If you want to know how to like get any of these things, I always like leave this linked in the description, the spreadsheet. You can just like go find it and do like some research there. You can also find any other characters that I might miss or just might not talk about, like Tail Slap, that like not QB, that Frosttail has, uses the Spirit stat, but normal QB has Fireball, which is a ranged basic attack. So I don't know why you'd want to. I don't know why you'd want a physical DPS with Frosttail, but you can if you so desire. So we're actually going to go fight Orkanos, because Orkanos is one of the only bosses I know the weakness to, and he's weak to ice. I accidentally figured this out when I was doing my boss solos. I didn't mean to, but here I do mean to. So Chilhuahua is going to look a little bit more impressive, but this is probably one of the strengths of playing a rain or a special physical DPS, which is, I guess, what they're called. Because it's not really a special DPS, because you have like other versions of that. But anything that's weak to ice, Chilhuahua is just going to like kill. So we're going to be able to do this. And, you know, just deal very ridiculous numbers. Hit that, hit nice stuns. And, you know, just bully him. You know, he knows all that kind of messed me up. Nice. So now we can just stay in his little circle and not have to worry about getting hit, except by this. But because of my additional HP, it doesn't matter. So that's another reason you can run that piece of equipment. I've just made the Hinozals more tanky. And yeah. Yeah, Chilhuahua is a very fun character to play. He can essentially, you could have him as a combo character. He just wouldn't like deal as much damage as Shogunyan. But because he, instead of dodge, he can have fallback attack, which if you ever are just like don't need to dodge, you can just use that. That's pretty good in all honesty. That's kind of just what I say. It's pretty good in all honesty, but eh. So before we get into the last thing I want to talk about, okay, Orkanos. Before we get into the last thing that I want to talk about, I want to show off a. I completely forgot this is how you get it. This wasn't even meant to be a segue, but it is. So this is the Drenched Blade. Now the Drenched Blade you obviously get by fighting Orkanos without Ascensions, you know, in like 10 minutes or whatever. You know, just kind of win, be good, and you'll be fine. It is a fusion item. So we'll go over here to Naked Speed, going to evolve in Yokai Fusion. Now you're going to take a Chanson. Somewhere I have one. Yeah, this one. Prepared him. And then you're going to, you have, you know, the Legendary Blade for Sheen, the Cursed Blade for Snee, the Holy Blade for Gleam. But then you have this one. This fourth blade, the Drenched Blade. I have two, because I got one by accident. And you fuse Chanson with this, and you get a yokai new to the plus mod. I think he's from like Yokai Watch World, maybe. I don't know. He's from something. There's so many Yokai Watch things I don't even know anymore. But this is Seep. Seep is a very unique yokai. He is the only one to have the unique basic attack of Splish Splash. So we'll go over and we'll check him out. What's the phone? I always think the phone's ringing, but there's literally nothing it could be ringing about. So Seep, okay, good. He's still level 99. is a Brave Fighter Yokai S rank. His skill increases water damage by 25%, and he has Splish Splash. Now, if we were to actually look up Splish Splash in the plus plus mod spreadsheet, you'll see that it says average for scaling, meaning it takes the average of the strength stat and the spirit stat, and that is what calculates for the damage, but it's still triple attack. Just slightly stronger. Fiery, so Swelterrier's fire attack is actually slightly weaker than why can't I remember Chilhuahua's? That's just kind of neat. So Seep is on a, I think he's pretty good. So his moves are Water Beam, which is that giant, big power move, Waterfall, Fallback Attack, and Speedy Stance. I'm going to keep, Fallback Attack because that's cool. And now you probably, I've never used Seep, by the way, and I haven't done I never do like any sort of research for like a lot of these. So you probably would want to run this, but since it uses the average, wouldn't that mean we'd want to buff both? So why don't I take this, the Spooky Squasher, which also makes allies get more soul meter faster, which is like neat. So just take this, put it on Seep, and then I don't know whose it is though. It increases water damage. In all honesty, I don't really feel like looking for it. So I'm just going to snag one of my 2 Cicada Souls. And, yep, it's the right one. You can never go wrong with the Cicada Soul. And since we also have a ranged attack with Water Beam, it should be fine. But you would want to run like a water damage soul. So, and I might as well show this. A water damage soul would be Tantrum, which is the first place prize from Ultra Sticks Mark 6, or Seep himself, which you could farm Seeps pretty easily, so just pick whichever one you want. Okay, I forgot to mention his Ultimate is a physical attack, so you really do want to use like something that buffs both. So technically, it's kind of worse to bring He Knows All Awoken, because he's reducing our strength stat by 5%. I'm doing Puni right now, but because he's reducing our strength stat by 5%, I don't really know if it's worth it to bring He Knows All Awoken instead of just like a normal He Knows All. So take that with a grain of salt. Like, I'm never trying to claim that I'm like the best Blasters player ever, because I'm not even close. I just like know a decent amount of things. So, but I do feel like it probably might be a little bit better to run normal He Knows All than He Knows All Awoken, just for Seep. But then again, I'm not a Seep player, so like I'm sure the Seep players can find out whether it's better or not. Because I have the Spooky Squasher as well, we're also getting allies more soul meter, so that's pretty cool. So what we can do is this for 900 damage, and already take damage because I'm an idiot. So because we're a mixed attacker, we can do fallback attack as a DPS as well, which works well, I think. Thankfully, because of his big body, we can pretty safely keep up this. I knew it. I knew he was going to do that. So this is a physical attack, not a special attack. So on a special setup, it is a little bit worse. But honestly, Seep's pretty cool. I just don't really like Water Beam. I don't like that I have to like directly point it, because I'm kind of lazy. Oh. But yeah, as you can see, because we're running the Spooky Squasher, which buffs both strength and spirit, it's not only buffing ourselves, but also giving the He Knows Alls their ultimate easier. which if they were, you know, human players, they could take advantage of more. But I'm not going to be switching to them because that's kind of a lot of effort for something that's not... Well, I mean, obviously them doing their ultimate is great, but yeah, that's another reason I don't like Water Beam. You know, I kind of realized as I was doing that that probably was going to hit me, so that's kind of my fault. Yeah. So we'll wait for him to do his thing. Why do you keep stunning every time? Every time he tries to do his platinum silver gun, he gets stunned. And there we go. Yeah, honestly, Seep's fun. I think he's a cool design. He like according to the devs, he was going to be a costume for Snee, and then they found out he was just his own thing. So then he became his own yokai, and I think that's cool. I think it's cool that this what would look like just like a... Honestly, he looks like a Puni remodel, like how in their current anniversary there's a Venoct, but he has unique animations. He looks like that for Snee. So I'm glad that he got to be his own thing, because he is his own thing. And you know, having like water-based stuff, it's pretty cool. Because like there's not well there's Stix Mark 6, but there's no physical water character, like, at all. I would like to see more like, you know, up close and personal physical like special users, because I think it's a very fun playstyle. But now that we've done that, I have one more character that I want to show. So you know how we have Blizzaria, right? You also have Demona. Demona has Smackdown, meanwhile Blizzaria has Snowball. However, Blizzaria has Fallback Attack and Dodge, meanwhile Demona only has Dodge. Well, there is a character that has both. A physical up-close double basic attack, and also has Fallback Attack and Dodge. That is Blizzie. Yes, Blizzie is slightly different, and her skill is slightly different. Arguably slightly worse, but the defense support for allies is pretty neat. Because her basic attack is just a physical type, but it's a spirit thing, I can even like show it, which I probably should do. So as you can see, her basic attack is Smackdown, and then when we look up Smack here and then switch over, you'll see it uses the spirit stat. So that's cool. So you could really just run like anything. If I really wanted to, I could run like a crit rate soul, and then the crit damage this, crit damage this. But oh yeah, Moon God one, forgot this exists. We'll run that. And then for soul, what would be a good soul? You could run like one of the combo souls, but I don't really want to. Like you could run like a Red Paws soul or something like that. You know what? Since my crits aren't really that important, I'll go take one of these, so that way the Hinozals can get a crit for extra 10% crit rate. Sure, this is not like optimal, like at all. But I mean, it's fun. I'm gonna be able to slap people with Blizzie. And by people, I'm gonna try Shogun King. I mean, I did it with normal Blizzaria, so you'd think I'd be able to do it with Blizzie as well. Especially now that I have allies. So as long as my allies stay alive, we should be fine. And by stay alive, that really just means Princess Pearl has to heal herself. Whoop. 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 Ah! Too early. I was gonna say, this would be the time for him to do his ultimate. But, speaking of ultimate, Oh, he knows all looking doesn't have his. And he got hit somehow. That was a super late fallback attack, and I still survived somehow. Anytime that, like, Princess Pearl lives, you might be able to chalk it up to Blizzie's support skill, which is pretty neat. There, her ultimate. For some nice power buffs. So now he's going into his big baby rage mode. So I'm going to switch to Hinazal to take care of these with actual efficiency, because Blizzie, while fun, is not good enough to deal with these. Hinazal, with his ranged basic attack, is usually capable enough, but... Gratitude Beam? I'm... Okay, I was gonna say, I'm surprised she didn't get hit there, but she did. Ah, I pressed dodge. I know I did. Like that. Like that. He swings in front of him and hits behind him somehow. So yes, regular... What hit me? Give me an in-depth explanation on what hit me. Oh. It's okay, I'm so tanky, it's fine. Oh. Alright, so now we'll switch to Hinazal again. I was gonna say, where is it? Ah, I tried to do her ultimate. That double hit is deadly. I knew it. I knew it was going to hit me. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Let's get another one. Doesn't matter that we almost got team wiped. Also, there's a ghost in the center. All the computers can't really handle this. If if we had actual players, then we'd be able to, not have let him power up so much, but it's whatever. He knows all. We literally just got you up, bro. I knew it. And we can get some slight dodges in with the fallback attack. So we can keep this up. Shocking idea. Yeah, we can just keep this up. Wait for him to do his thing. And there we go. Now, Blizzaria herself did, like, basically nothing there, but my defense support did let Princess Pearl live one hit, but I think that was in the last run, so... But yeah, physical attacking while using the special stat is pretty fun. It allows some characters, like mainly Swelterrier and Chilhuahua, to have functional kits because their kit is cohesive and they're not trying to use their strength stat while their spirit stat is used for their ultimate. So it's a direct buff to them. And if we ever get more characters like that, I think that'd be pretty neat. Oh, cool moon stuff. And, well, yeah, that's kind of just it. But it's still pretty cool. You know, it's very fun to play as Swelterrier, Chilhuahua, Komashura, especially since he's going to be getting that costume soon. So yeah, I think it's a very, very good idea to have physical attacking characters that actually use the spirit stat. So yeah, let me know what you think. Uh, sorry I'm not mewing like that. Like I don't understand what y'all thought when y'all clicked the bot option on that poll, but I'm glad this won. So next, Blasters, like, not character guide, will be ranged basic attacks because I think they're cool. No, wait, no, it's the Cicada Soul. That was second place. Yeah. Cicada Soul is next because I've used it in, like, every video. And, yeah, hope you enjoyed and learned something. And hope you start picking up Swelterrier and Chihuahua and Komashura. Because they're really fun. They're my goats. Love them. Love those dogs.